Hello everyone, how's it going? BigLT here. Welcome back to another food review, and we are doing these stuff. Snickers Cake Bites, I guess as I will call them. Got these at Walmart maybe 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. I was with my grandma. I know that. I think it was the last time I was with my grandma. But I haven't gotten around to them until now, so. Because right now, Essa Parker is watching how much sugar she eats. And because of that, I'm doing a lot of the sugar ones I have left by myself, since I still can't get out to see Scotty. So, but when I do see Scotty, I got some regular stuff that I told him about that aren't sugar. They're like chips and crackers. I'll be doing it with him. This is kind of nice. That is nice looking right there. You see that? Whoa, look at that. And one of them just, oh, that looks cool. So here's the thing. During WrestleMania, me and Scotty were in a party together, and I told him, man, if they keep showing Snicker ads, I'm gonna have a craving for them. And sure enough, when I was with my worker on Monday, I was in line for the checkout counter, and I said, screw it, I'm buying a Snickers. Because WrestleMania made me crave Snickers. And I still had these, which is technically Snickers. So I'll show you guys a closer look at those right there. There you go. All right. It's all right. Not much of a Snicker taste that I can think of. Then again, what can I say that actually tastes like a Snickers? I mean, okay. I can't taste any caramel. That's for one. Really chocolatey. That's one thing. I'm not tasting any nuts, as Peanut would say. I'm pretty sure on the package it shows that there's nuts in there. Yeah, it shows there's nuts on the package. What we got here? What is this anyway? Nougat flavored cake with Snickers pieces and roasted peanuts, caramel filling, rich chocolate coating. By the way, that reminds me about nougat. Let me eat this first. Okay, little fun fact for you guys out there. I didn't know about this about nougat. There's a father and son, Frank and Forrest Mars. They created the Mars Candy Company, and originally they were getting their chocolate supply from Hershey's. What does this have to do with nougat? And getting there. Before they started making candy, Frank's son Forrest and him were in this malt shop, so to speak. That's what they called it back like 100 years ago. And while they're in this malt shop, they were saying like, hey, would it be nice if someone came up with a malt flavored kind of candy thing? And that inspired them to eventually create their first candy bar, which they presented to Hershey first because they wanted their chocolate as a supplier, called the Milky Way. So the Milky Way is like the first candy bar that had that nougat. So that's why, nougat is actually supposed to be more of a malt, like milkshake kind of thing. It's like a milkshake, but it's a malt. Sorry, I had to feel something there for a second. Thought I was getting a hangnail on my toe. That's why I had to check that spot. It felt like something was peeled there. I don't know, maybe there is something there. I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk about that for the channel. I'm sorry. I'll do that when I'm done. But yeah, another thing that you probably want to know about the Mars Company is that after Frank passed away and his son Forrest took over the company, he went to another person who was working with Hershey at the moment. He's called Murray, and Forrest goes to Murray and says, "Hey, I was in Europe, and basically I found this little candy confection or whatever." He showed him this candy that was milk chocolate in a candy, like in a shell, so to speak, like a shell coating. So that inspired them both to make M&Ms, and M&Ms actually was Murray and Mars. That's where the name M&Ms come from, Murray and Marsh. So because this candy that came from Europe, originally came from Europe, brought over to America, and all of a sudden they just said, "We're making M&Ms." So there's another little thing for you about that. So the things you learn when watching TV. See, teachers, you can learn stuff from watching TV. You just can't. You just not from cartoons, but there are educational stuff out there. The Food That Built America is on the History Channel thing. Thankfully, I own, like, 4 seasons of it on my Xbox, so I can technically watch all 4 seasons whenever the hell I want. And every time you learn something about the history of where the food comes from here in America, whether it be from the Great Depression, World War I, World War II, Coca-Cola, which was made in the aftermath of the Civil War in the South in Atlanta, Georgia, but was made by a pharmacist named Pemberton. Pretty sure I'm butchering that name wrong. And when he passed away, apparently this one guy, Asa Candler, bought the rights to Coca-Cola and everything and started making Coca-Cola. So there you go. You learned something. So yeah, you can learn just about anything. Heck, even McDonald's. McDonald's today had never been around if it wasn't for Ray Kroc, who was a salesman. He bought out the original McDonald brothers and their speedy service for $2 million or something like that. And what the McDonald brothers didn't realize after Ray Kroc bought the company is that it was going to be this global thing. Ray Kroc, a shrewd businessman as he was for McDonald's, made the company it is today. He's no longer around anymore, sadly. I would imagine what he would think about McDonald's today with its insane prices and I don't know, other stuff. But no, actually, Ray Kroc always wanted to make sure every McDonald's was the exact same McDonald's no matter where you go. Heck, even Pizza Hut was like that. He's like, you go into a Pizza Hut and it's the same Pizza Hut that you go to anywhere else that you've ever been to. And when Pizza Hut also expanded to other territories, and they're like, well, we don't like this style of crust, and then the brothers, I think they were brothers, who were in charge of the place were like, well, if they don't like the crust there, why don't we change the crust? And it's like, well, why would we do that? If people like this crust and we can't just change it because of those people, it's like, no, let's do 2 options. You can have the thin crust and you have a thick crust. That way, everybody wins. And they did it. And Pizza Hut today is just as popular. Actually, I'm more of a Domino's person. I'm sorry, Pizza Hut, but I'm more of a Domino's person, especially when I live 2 blocks away from one. Seriously. I can go over there, get a carry-out for $8. Large pepperoni pizza. That's all I can just take a pepperoni pizza. I know they say 2 toppings. I can just get a pepperoni. Just nothing but pepperoni on it. Besides cheese and sauce, obviously. And I can still carry it out in 15 minutes for $8. Plus tax. Because it's America. We have to pay tax. Sales tax. It's a thing. But anyway, time to give a rating for those. Give it a solid 7 out of 10. I don't know. It could be better. Maybe add a little more peanuts to it or something. Maybe give it a little bit more of a caramel taste. It's like a cake. It's like, I've had to think about it. It's not like your average cake. It's more like snack cake, obviously, but no. I'm sure there's something, but I can't think of it right now. Maybe like a soft baked brownie kind of thing, ish, kinda, somewhere around there. I don't know. But anyway, thanks so much for watching this food review. Of course, I'm a BigLT. I got one more kind of sweet thing I gotta take care of too at some point. Probably do it in a day or two. We'll see what happens. I got it. Parker's supposed to be coming over tomorrow instead of today now because she was not feeling good. Apparently something she ate, I guess. Otherwise, we would be recording right now. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys next time for another food review. You have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.